What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into a special interview edition of the PWTorch Fireside Chat. I'm PWTorch Assistant Editor Zack Heydorn, and here with me today from Impact Wrestling, Bhupinder Gujjar. Man, it is so great to have you on the show. I feel like I'm lucky because you have so much to talk about, and you've been on quite the run, and just so grateful to have you here and looking forward to chatting for a bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me. And I have something to clarify. Lots of people pronounce my last name wrong. So it's Gujar. So
Gujjar.
Gujar. Yeah. There you go. That's not hard
Bhupinder
though, right?
Gujjar. Okay. No. It's not bad at all. It's my fault more than anything. I've got the phonetic spelling right here. You can't see it, but it's there. But I appreciate you educating me on that.
Oh no,
I
bro.
appreciate
That's a great way of start a conversation, It's just a name
Yeah.
and it's just a pronunciation, right?
That's right. Oh man. Well, listen. I feel like there's so many different places where we can start kind of this this little journey here. But I want to hear about how your experience so far has been with Impact Wrestling. I mean, I feel like you've seen a lot in the years that you've kind of been there, especially last year, 2022 was, I don't know, it's an exciting year for the company, some big events, some big matches, some momentum too, that I think has kind of resonated with wrestling
Yep.
fans, kind of making Impact something that, people should be checking out on a weekly basis. How has it been for you there as part of that throughout the last year plus?
Oh, for me, Zach, it's like one of the best experience in my life, and I think I needed Impact to start my pro wrestling career. Because here I am allowed it to be me. They just
Mm-hmm.
they. Uh, I have so many people around me who are ready to teach me, and I'm under basically learning tree. So I got Scott Moore and Tommy Dreamer and Lance Strong around me. So I have so many people to go and ask question about pro wrestling. And with Impact, it's my second year, and in first year of my career, like first year of my debut on Impact Wrestling, I got so many bigger matches, and now it really helps me to boost my confidence. When you are new in the company, you need those matches, and you really need those matches where you can, build your confidence and you can earn, your co-wrestlers' trust. So I'm grateful that I get a chance to start with Impact, and 2023 is also like great starting for me. So um, for now, I just say that I'm learning, and Impact is a place where I can learn the most. Every week I'm on TV, and if I go somewhere else, I couldn't learn the whole stuff I learned from last year, and now I'm here, grateful and thankful, working on myself.
That's great. I mean, that's great, and it's got to be fun to have that opportunity to have a,
Hmm.
I don't know, because you're, as you mentioned, you're learning, but there's a kind of a blank slate there as far as something that you can build on, as far as your wrestling skills, your confidence, your character. What went into developing like your style as a wrestler on television?
I'm an attacker, and I do some lucha stuff, So that's a
Yep.
mixture in my style. That's a mixture, and I'm working on my character work. How can I, improve my those small fillers when you're wrestling? I can do moves easily. I'm a good athlete as I'm a bodybuilder. I started my career as a bodybuilder, and I'm a national level kickboxer. So learning new moves wasn't tough for me, but as I'm growing as a pro wrestler, professional wrestling is something you need for the whole package, and now I'm working on my character work, crowd work. I'm you know finding out to fill all those small fillers which makes you look good, and which is like really I'm working on my personality inside the ring. So I think it's gonna takes it usually takes time, and for me it's coming out. I'm every time I try to just go out, I have some things in my mind, and I was like, okay, today I want to have a great match. Plus, I also want to work on these small things which I have in my mind. So every time I go out, and I try to work all on those points, which really helps me to boost my confidence. So yeah, it's coming out.
Yeah, well, absolutely. You mentioned Tommy Dreamer and the role that he's played in kind of helping teach you some
Hmm.
things. I think he's also he's just like a central kind of, or it seems to me like watching the product, he's just kind of like a central like figure that kind of is foundational in Impact Wrestling. What are some things that you've learned from him specifically in the last year and a half that you can talk about, whether it's in ring or out of the ring or both?
In ring, I learned from him like sometimes I used to go too fast. Boom, 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 moves here, just running around all over the places. And in my mind, I want to show my athletic abilities, right? I want to show like, hey, I can move, I can do these cool moves. But I learned that all those moves make more sense if you do them with a great wrestling psychology. And if you go slow, if you take your time, hit some moves, take your time, let that move observe and let that crowd come in behind you. So, like these small points I have learned from Tommy. Definitely, these points when you're into a pro wrestling business. But once you're inside the ring, especially on a big stage like Impact Wrestling, when cameras all are on you, you are nervous, right? Definitely, you forget some things you want to work on yourself, and you have some point like I said before. I had some points in my mind for my match, but when you are nervous, all those points just go out. Then when Tommy told like, hey, you need to work on your speed, you need to slow down sometimes. It's not about always running. So it that feels like, okay, I'm into a right path. Like whatever I'm thinking, and they are all thinking the same. So it means like I'm thinking right. And if I have questions, anything, he's always there. Um, Especially if I need his suggestions, advices on my some old matches. So I send them my clips, and I was like, hey, Tommy, this is my match. So this is my best match. How can I improve that stuff? So,
Yeah.
he watched that, and whenever I see him next or on call, he just explained me like, you need to work on this part, these parts of your match, and or your personality, or you need to change your gears, or you need to, you know, change your jacket. All those small things. And I feel that I'm grateful that he's around me, that I can freely just go to him and talk about all these small points.
That's fun. It's got to be good to have somebody like that working with you, because
Yeah,
I don't want to say like a safety net is not the word I'm looking for, but it's more so like just somebody who's been out there and seen it and done it all for so many different
exactly.
promotions,
These
right?
people have already done it from like they are doing it from years, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And like I don't want to experiment anything, and I want to waste my time to experiment anything which I can just go to these legends and talk about.
sure.
Definitely, I'm going to have my own experiences in pro wrestling, but instead of just trying something, especially on TV, uh, I prefer to go to Tommy Dreamer or Lance Storm and talk about all that stuff, and then do it.
What's the biggest difference between the two of them? Like when you get advice, like is do you go to them for different things, or like how, because they're two people who are just wealths of knowledge for the company.
Um,
What do you get from each of them?
I personally like to go to both of them and talk about the match.
Okay,
Let's say
okay,
if it's my comeback, I go to Lance Storm and say, "Hey, Lance, that's my comeback. That these are the moves I do during my comeback. So what do you say? Like, what? Sometimes he changed the whole stuff, and it's not like in a
right.
bad way, but it's because he knew like what's gonna look more impressive, and I can do that stuff. He just helps me out to find out like the what's the exact best version of my comeback. And same as the Tommy Dreamer, it's like
Okay.
I don't want to say like they both are have different uh you know ideas for my comeback, but it's like they always try to improve me, which I really like because they really put their work time into me. Because many times I got mailed from Landstorm by saying like, "Hey, Bhupinder, you did a good job, but you need to work on those small steps, small things." And Tommy Dreamer is like, "Hey, Bhupinder, you need to work on more on your character work. You need to slow down here." So every different individuals have their own opinions, and I like to learn and listen my seniors. So these two around me, good for me.
Yeah, yeah. So what's been your favorite, impact match that you've had, um, since kind of becoming a regular, like on the show and on the, with the company? Like, is there a match that sticks out in your head that is, hey, this is maybe not even your best one, but just your favorite one?
My favorite and my best one is my ladder match with Brian Myers.
With
Like,
Brian? Okay.
cause I broke my nose like when right in the middle of the match, and I could have just quit and just go back, but I really wanted to push myself, and that match really went well because I had time on that match, and I really felt like I had connected with people, and my them after that match, I think I have earned the respect for my co-pro wrestlers, and I remember I always wanted to have that clap when you finish your match and when you go backstage and everybody was clapping for you and cheering you. So that was my moment. Like after that match, everybody was like around me clapping for me, and they were like, man, you are the man, and now we know that you can do that. So that was one of my best match, which changed everything in my life.
It's such an interesting match because I think like sometimes I think when like especially like these days, like ladder matches can be a lot of different things. It can just be big kind of, you know, moves off the ladders or kind of like stunt bump type stuff. But I felt that your guys' match had a really like
Yeah.
interesting like underlying story throughout it. What went into you and him planning that out? Like, how did you guys sit down and go, okay, this is what we're going to do, or how did you just? I mean, I'm assuming you didn't call it out there in the ring because it's a ladder match, but
Yeah.
like what went into you guys putting that thing together, start to
So
finish?
first, Brian Myers, he's an experienced individual. Like he know what he is doing, and he know like how he can make all those small moves, turn small moves into a big, attention grabber kind of thing. If you know what I mean. Uh, uh, we definitely had to talk about that match, and it's my first match of my career. Like the ladder match was my first match. I never had ladder match before, so the main focus was on like I'm not hitting anyone with ladder because I don't want to hurt anyone. It could be a dangerous match for anyone. Like if it's some indie match, I would just go out there and do my thing. But here we wanted to tell a great story that he's winning by cheating and he's
Right.
beating me up and I'm not quitting at all. So that was the whole story behind that match. And so he most of the time he was kicking my ass on the ladder match, and but my main focus was on not to quit and give my 100%, and more my character work. How can I connect to the audience? And I had some great good moves in that match. So I try to do my best by not hurting anyone and still deliver
Sure.
a good match. So that was the kind of whole story, like not quitting, giving my best and connecting to the audience and showing that that's not my first match of uh, on Impact Wrestling. I led the first match on Impact Wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. What that's so that's so interesting because I think that's again not a lot of matches have that kind of underlying story to it. I think I think that makes them better, and I think you guys had a really good one. Um, From an Impact Wrestling perspective, just from company standpoint, you guys had recently had like some had went through some diversity in terms of, Josh Alexander, kind of the champion, going down with an injury. He's kind of been at the top of the company with the company flag in his hand and going. Same thing with Mickie James on the other in the women's division, knockouts division. What does it mean for people and talent like them to go down, and as you guys are on like a bit of a hot run? I mean, what does it mean for you in the locker room, and how do you guys kind of band together and push forward when somebody so important like that has to go away for a while?
Definitely, it's really personally it affects me because Josh Alexander is like big brother to me. We talk, here and there and talk about wrestling, and whenever I need him, he's always there. But if somebody get hurt, then definitely it's the show. It's a kind of feeling the show must go on, but you inside like these people are hurt. Like what's coming next? Because people, Impact fans, are really want to see something at the Josh Alexander's level or even better than that. And the match Kushida had a match with Steve Macklin, right? So that match was kind of good starter for the new storyline. And now Macklin, he's doing great. He's like one of the pro wrestler in this business. And Mickie James, I always talk that what a coincidence that they both got hurt at the same period of time. And what a coincidence, the Macklins and Diana, they both are champion now. And I'm happy for them, and they know what they are doing. So Impact Wrestling still are in good hands, and Steve Macklin and Diona, as I said, they are the best in the business. Josh Alexander definitely going to come back in a couple of months, so I know like he's getting ready for it.
I'm sure he is. It'll make for a fun run when he comes back. But I mean, it's gotta be a little, just you kind of just shake your head and go like you mentioned, like
it's you feel bad definitely, and even I realize like lots of Impact our co-wrestlers, they feel bad when Josh got hurt. But as I said, like the show must go on. The show, it's gonna because we know like Josh Alexander, and he's like a tough guy, and he's gonna come back like as soon as he can. So it's just a gap for a couple of months, and then again everything gonna be back. Things are back on track, but things is gonna be better than that when Josh gonna be back.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so to finish up here, man, what does the future look like for you in Impact Wrestling? Who are some opponents that you definitely want to face, or matches that you'd like to have? Like when you look at the next year for you in the company, what are some of your goals, and what do you want to do? If we had a conversation a year from now, what do you want to have accomplished?
Bro, I really want to have first X Division Championship belt around my waist. And I really want to have a match with, one of the best, with Josh Alexander when he's back. I really want to have a match with him. Speedball, Mike Bailey, Kenny King, so much talent around me. And I was like, I really want to have a match with them because I know like these guys gonna, push me to the next level. And I know that I can deliver a good match. And with them, it's really I don't know when it's gonna happen, but if I get the chance, I'm gonna give my best. And soon, maybe Digital Media Championship or X Division Championship, because as I had some history with the Digital Media Championship, so I broke my nose for that Digital Media Championship, but unfortunately I couldn't won that title. But you never know in future, so I definitely have some these kind of plans, like big plans. So I'm preparing for that.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for just the match you had with Brian. Really great match, and I hope we can do this again soon when you got that X Division title belt on your shoulder.
Yeah,
Let's we'll keep it penciled in for a year from now.
And yeah, May 26, 27, Under Siege is coming, and it's gonna be in London, Ontario, Canada. So that's gonna be a fun show too. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. We'll definitely do it again soon. This is Zack Heydorn for PWTorch, signing off.